You won't believe what's unfolding across the job market right now. Employers across the country are already bracing for mass layoffs, and they're even preparing their employees for what's coming. This all stems from a major provision that was just passed by the House of Representatives, a new bill that could shake up nearly every industry from retail to construction, from manufacturing plants to restaurants. Whether you work at Target, Home Depot, a hotel, or on a factory line, this could affect you directly. The bill in question, it's being called the No Tax on Tips and Overtime Act, and although it only narrowly passed the House, 215 to 214, its impact is already being felt. While it sounds like a relief effort aimed at helping working Americans keep more of their income, it's sparking unexpected consequences in workplaces nationwide. Let me explain why. For tipped workers, such as restaurant servers, hairstylists, or housekeepers, tips make up a significant portion of their income. If those tips are no longer taxed, that sounds great on the surface. But in reality, it shifts the burden of paying wages from the employer to the customer. This could lead to base wages being reduced, leaving workers more dependent on unpredictable tip income. But it's the overtime provision in the bill that's raising the biggest concerns. By eliminating taxes on overtime pay, it encourages employers to increase overtime hours for fewer employees. Here's why that matters. If companies can get more hours out of fewer workers, they no longer need as many people on staff. And that means layoffs. Take this example. I reached out to a friend who runs a boutique hotel with around 100 rooms. He told me he used to employ 21 people but reduced that number to 17. So each person could work a full 40 hours per week. But if this new law goes through, he says he could reduce staffing even further down to 12 or 13 people and simply let them work more overtime. Why? Because those employees would be earning more, tax-free on overtime, and the business would save on hiring costs. He even mentioned he might cut base pay for tipped workers, depending on what others in the industry do. In another case, a factory worker told me that his boss has already warned employees to be ready for layoffs. The company plans to allow unrestricted overtime if the bill becomes law. But after the first month, they'll review how many hours are actually needed to meet production. Target some, then lay off anyone they no longer need. So here is the pattern. This bill incentivizes employers to get more output from fewer people. It's not just about workers earning more, it is about employers cutting labor costs. And that means job losses. While workers benefit in the short term by keeping more of their overtime income, it also makes them easier to replace or easier to let go. This creates tension and fear across the workforce. Another friend in manufacturing told me that in the past week alone, people have been coming in early, staying late, doing whatever they can to prove they're indispensable. Because now, everyone's fighting to stay on the payroll. And the moment this bill becomes law, many companies will pull the trigger on layoffs. They're just waiting for confirmation. And here's the kicker: I truly believe this bill will pass. It has bipartisan support. Both Republicans and Democrats have talked about how tax-free tips and overtime could help hardworking Americans, especially in high inflation times like these. It could happen as early as this summer. But if and when it passes, we need to be ready. The landscape of employment could change overnight. So whether you're in a tip-based job or work overtime hours to support your family, keep a close eye on your employer's behavior. Watch for changes in scheduling, reductions in staffing, or talk of restructuring. As always, I'll be here to break down these developments for you, what it means, how it affects your income, and how you can prepare. So if you found this update helpful, please hit that like button, consider subscribing for more, and share this with anyone who could be impacted. I'll see you in the next one.